Did you know that you can create contracts inside of QuickBooks Online? It's more efficient than using a third-party tool like DocuSign or Dropbox Sign or Adobe Sign or whatever, because number one, it's one less tool that you have to pay for and keep track of. It's there in QuickBooks. It's already tied into your QuickBooks flow. So if you're issuing invoices from QuickBooks, it's already right there. And when you create a customer in QuickBooks, you can use them in the contract, right? You can add them to the contract. So it's cool. You can send the contract and then send the invoice, do everything right there in QuickBooks. I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm also going to show you how to generate a contract. I use Grok, but you could use any kind of AI software you want. None of this is legal advice, so it's on you whether you write a good contract, but I'll just show you the way that I do it, okay? This is especially good for like writing quick contracts and then sending them to the client along with an invoice. I send both of them. So I'll show you, okay? So what do? We're here in QuickBooks, and there's different ways to get to it, but just click up here and search for contracts. You can type in contract. You'll see contracts right here, okay? You click that, and you can see that I already have a contract out. And look at this. This is beautiful. You can see that the customer, this potential customer, has viewed the contract. That's great. Tells me they got it. They received it. Cool. We might have to do a little back and forth and update the contract, but no problem. We could do that. Anyways, you can also see that you could send a reminder if they hadn't signed it. And you'll see as well, when we make this, there is a feature that will ask, hey, is there a deadline for this contract? Do you want QuickBooks to send reminders, etc.? We'll get to that in a second. For right now, before we get into building the contract in QuickBooks, I want to create the contract content using Grok. And you can write it yourself. You can do it at your lawyer's office. This is not legal advice. Okay, I'm just showing you an example, but I did do this today, okay? So I'm a bookkeeper, and I would just write something like this. My name is Thomas McDonald. I am a bookkeeper, and I own Bookkeeping Conroe, located in, I'll give you my address, 96 Beach Walk Boulevard, Suite 1273, Conroe, Texas, 77304. Feel free to send me some fan mail if you want. My prospective customer is Jane Doe. She owns ABC Construction, located at 123 Main Street, Houston, Texas, 77002, I guess. Okay, great. I want to provide monthly bookkeeping services to Jane starting October 1st, 2025, for the monthly rate of $450 per month. Okay, you can make this as, fleshed out as you want, but this is really all you need to write a basic contract. Create a contract that I can send to Jane. All right, let's see what we got. Now, again, this is not anything that, it's not legal advice, okay? But I'm just giving you an example. You absolutely could send this, okay? And the way that I do it is I actually create it in Word. So I'll go to Google Drive. Actually, you can just go to docs.google.com and make a new one. Paste it in here, okay? And you might want to shape it up just a little bit. Most of the time I'll put a header in here and I'll go insert image, upload from computer. And, this is one that I made today. If it'll upload, what are you doing? What's happening? Oh, there it goes. Ooh, that's definitely not it. Let's give that another shot. Upload from computer. I want where's my header? Maybe it's in downloads. Should say, oh, I know, because it's on another computer, but that's okay. You would put your business information in your header here, okay? And if you wanted to, quick shortcut on this Google Docs, if you do Control-Alt-1, that makes it heading level 1. And then these other ones here, you can do Control-Alt-2, and it makes them, more legible. And you can even select a lot of them at the same time, multiple ones at the same time, and Control-Alt-2. There we go. So did I do that right? Control-Alt-2. There we go. That's good. And then maybe, my name, I might make it heading level 3, and this one heading level 3. And we need a signature block. So this is actually not great. We want to copy this and replace it here and say signature. All right. And we might make this a little bit longer as well. I want a nice long line on here. Okay, there you go. About the same. And this can copy here, and we'll paste it right here. Okay, cool. And I also probably want to get rid of these guys. Okay, and make sure that I am heading level 3, and Jane is heading level 3. Okay, and then I might also give these double spacing. So I'll go format and double, and this one can be format and double, maybe in fact all of this as a matter of fact, double that. Okay, and this one will be as well. And there we go. Okay, we've got a very quick contract, right? I probably want to put my title as well. I'd say owner Bookkeeping Conroe, and she might be the owner as well. Owner ABC Construction. All right, cool. So there you go. We have a basic contract, and now what I'll do is I'll say bookkeeping services contract, and I'll say this is for ABC Construction. That's great. And I will download this as a PDF. And I'll just save it to downloads. Fine. All right, cool. Now then, here in QuickBooks, back in QuickBooks, we create the contract. And I'm going to make a new customer, okay? So let's say Jane Doe, add new. All right, and if I had her email address here, get out of here. I would go Jane at abcconstruction.com or what have you. And I could put more information in here, but this is all that's needed for right now. So I'm going to, and also I would probably want the display name to be the business name, because really that's who we need to be invoicing is the business, okay? So we'll say ABC Construction, okay? And there we go. We'll save that. Cool. Now we'll continue. And here we go. We will upload the contract that we just created. Okay. And there it is. It's right in here. You could add other documents. You might want to, honestly, the better way to do this is to have one contract that's like a service agreement contract. And then you also have a statement of work, which has more detail about all the services to be rendered. But we're not going to do that. This is okay for right now. If it's important, you could create an access code, and you could provide that to the prospective customer through an email or a text or however you want, so that only if they have the access code can they even look and sign the document, right? Look at or sign the document. In this case, we're just going to do no authentication, okay? And that's it, right? We can go next, and you get to preview your contract here, okay? And now, For Jane Doe, she has two parts that she needs to fill out, the signature and the date. And as you can see, she's selected here, right? So we click on signature and we do it right there. That's her signature. Also for Jane, we want the signing date, and that's going to be right here. Okay? And then for me, I'm going to switch to me, add my signature, and I put it in right here, and you'll see it wants to give my signature right now, which is fine, okay? So, oops, Thomas Grant McDonald, okay. I sign that, and then I add my date, which is going to be for me right now, today. Good stuff, and that's it. I can preview the document, and I can see this is what Jane is going to receive, and she'll see that she needs to sign it here. That looks good. I'm going to close that. And next. Okay, cool. So we have the opportunity now to add a little message. We're going to say action needed by Jane. Okay, please review your documents and sign at your earliest convenience. We kindly request that you e-sign the documents at your earliest convenience. Your prompt attention is greatly anticipated. Of course, appreciated. You could change that if you wanted to. I'm going to say thank you, make it a little bit more personalized. Thomas, I'm going to dash, and we'll say Thomas Grant McDonald, owner and lead bookkeeper, Bookkeeping Conroe.com. Okay, there you go. Now, reminders and expiration. If you wanted to give them 30 days to sign this, you could. For me, I wouldn't do that. Okay, I'll give them. If they take more than a week, like the deal's off. I've got other things to worry about, other than them maybe signing it. I'll give them 7 days, and expiration reminder will be sent to users 3 days before expiration. And by the way, I want to send them a reminder every day. Okay? That might be overkill, but I'm trying to get this done. I have too many things to think about. That's how I run my business. You can, of course, change this as you need to. And that's it, right? If we were to hit send, Jane would see it. All right? So, in fact, what I should have done is change this to my, my email so that we can see a preview. Maybe we go ahead and do that, okay? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back one more time. I'm going to go to the recipients. Oh, maybe I can't. I guess once you get to this point, you've got to go through with it. So make sure that you get the email in there as necessary. Can I add a CC? No, I cannot. Okay, good to know. Good to know. But that's it, right? So let's just go ahead and send that. So signature request has been sent, and you can track the status, right? Which we already saw. This is a real one, and this is the one that we just sent. So we can see that it's been sent, but it has not been viewed. And I could send a reminder if I wanted to. I could void it if I wanted to, or I could download it to take a look. Let's just go ahead and download it and take a look, okay? I'm going to put it in my downloads. That's fine. Oh, it's a zip. I'm going to view this right here. Contract summary. Okay, I think this is the full contract for our review. That's cool. Bing, bing, bing. All right. And close that one. And this is probably the metadata about, yeah, see, this is how this is legally binding. Okay. So, I think that if it were to go to court, these electronic signature certificates could be presented as evidence, right? Again, I'm not a lawyer. This is just my understanding, right? All right, cool. And once this gets signed by the recipient, I think this is probably going to update so there's more information. Okay, cool. So let's just close all this, close all tabs. Now, that's great. We've sent a contract, but I'm not going to start work. And I should have put this in the contract, which I usually do. I just forgot it this time, that we're not going to start work until we receive a signed contract and a paid invoice. Now, you may have an invoice that needs to be paid all up front. That's how I do it for cleanup work. Or if it's monthly bookkeeping, they might pay an onboarding and the first month or whatever it is you're going to do, right? But my point is, let's go ahead and create an invoice to go along with this, okay? So what are we going to do? Let's go to Jane Doe, who is my customer, as you can see right here. Actually, ABC Construction is the customer. And we don't have any transactions right now. Activity feed, still nothing here. Okay, that's fine. Opportunities, do we have... Okay, so it looks like that contract is nowhere to be found in the customer profile at the moment. Good to know. But since we've sent the contract, let's go ahead and also send an invoice, okay? Oh, hey, look, you could create a contract from right here as well. I'm sure if we click this, it's going to take us back over to the contracts area. Also good to know, okay? Let's create an invoice. So we're going to invoice for onboarding fee and the first month of service, right? Again, if this was a real scenario, you might put a little bit more thought into what you're going to invoice and also what's on that contract, but I think you get the point, okay? So her email is already in here because we created that when we created the contract. Remember when we set up the customer? This is fine. Location of sale, that's my location. This is all fine, all fine. Product, let's just say, whatever it is that you're going to send to them. If you had monthly bookkeeping service, you could create the product here, etc., and you add your description, you add whatever it's going to be, $450, that's fine. If you're using classes, then that's fine. You can add that as well. If you're charging tax I won't go into all the different ways to create an invoice, but I think you get the point, right? You could add another line item here for the onboarding fee if you had that. All right, so at any rate, you can also, by the way, I just want to mention, there are QuickBooks payments options. And what I like to do as a little tip is I usually only take payment via bank transfer for a few different reasons. But a big one is that it's only 1%. And this fee comes out of my pay. It comes out of the customer's only going to pay this much. And if they pay with a card because this option is on, then 3% is going to come out of this, which can be like a significant amount of money on higher ticket items. Anyways, the way that you can get around this 3% fee, if you need to, two ways, right? Number one, just turn it off and coordinate and let your clients know we only take payment via bank transfer. If you really feel like you need to pay via credit card, I'm going to have to charge you a convenience fee, and then I would multiply $450 by 3% or 2.99% and add that as an additional line item here called convenience fee or credit card processing fee or whatever you want. So at least, they're going to cover that fee. You can play it different ways. Just a tip. All right, groovy. At any rate, if you were to review and send this invoice, I'm not going to, well, I guess I will. This is also something that's interesting, right? For me, I will have had some conversation before I ever send an invoice or contract. So I will have already established that it's okay for me to go ahead and just send this invoice both to the email and to the customer's phone number. So you could put that phone number in. And this is what the customer is going to receive, and they'll be able to pay it like that, right? You can update the email here as well. I'm going to go ahead and send this invoice. Oh, we couldn't send it because I have this selected, and I'm just going to deselect that, okay? Because if it's selected, you have to put it in. I'll deselect it, all right? And go ahead and send invoice. All right, cool. So now we have a customer with an invoice out there. By the way, I would have also made this invoice probably, due within 7 days and made it very clear to the potential customer. This is not to be pushy. I'm just telling you, I have clients that are coming and I have people to serve, and I don't like things lingering in the background. So if we're going to do this, tell me right now that we're going to do it, and let's get the invoice and the contract done within the next 7 days. Because if not, I'm probably just going to move on and I'm going to void the invoice and we're not going to do this. And if I have to swing back to it, that's more of my time, and I can't guarantee the price is going to be the same, which is all true. So at any rate, all these are just like little take it or leave it information, but I hope they might be helpful for you in running your business and making it profitable. But at any rate, we've got the invoice sent to the customer and we've got the contract sent to the customer. And even me going slow and like creating a new customer and a new contract and a new invoice and talking as I'm doing it and explaining, this hasn't taken very long. So it's a very efficient way to generate these contracts and get things signed and go to work, right? Get paid. I hope that was useful to you. And if it was, please give this video a like and a thumbs up. And you can go visit my website or my social media. It's all Bookkeeping Conroe. I'm here in Conroe, Texas, but I serve clients all over the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii. And I could probably even help you if you're overseas. If you're using QuickBooks, then I can help you. I have plenty of experience in QuickBooks to serve anybody who's using it. So I wish you the best in your business. And until next time, be the best.